So okay guys, so actually in this class, like what we'll be doing is, so we'll just go through one of our what I can tell, one of our registration page, and we need to know how to create what I can tell. So just I'll show you the demo of that page, like how we will be creating. Not this, sorry. So we'll just create this page, okay? Kind of registration. So this one have just kept for a demo. So whenever you guys register and if you just submit na, so you need to get some of the errors or some of the alerts, like that you need to mention some of the user ID and so on. So this is what happens when you are just creating your email ID and so on, right? And here see what is that what are they telling over here? The user ID must have 5 to 12 characters. Okay, so I'll just type 5 to 12 characters, and if I just give a submit, then only it will go for the next line. So this error is gone now. So if I just write only 3 characters, again I'll be getting that error. So what if I just write some 5 characters? So I'll not get an error. So whenever I click on the submit, I'll not get any error. Okay, so again similarly over here also, see this one also I'm getting an some error. So what is the error that I'm getting? So the password must be in so many characters at least. You might ask, sir, all the errors should arise at only once, na? Like why am I not getting the error over here? So because the line by line, the code executes line by line, right? So first it will check the first error. When the first error comes, it will stop the bugging over there only. It will not go for the next step. So that only you will be getting. You will not just get an error. Okay. So I'll just type some of my password. So this one is gone. So again, see the name I am getting an error. So this is how it works. Okay. So let us just create one of our beautiful site, and then we'll apply this one. Okay, so let us just see how to apply those things. And this is one of our mathematical instrumentation, like this one, how to calculate we will see later. So this is using the JavaScript and HTML and CSS we are doing. Okay, so let us just go through this. So if you just practice this one, so you will come to know the complete what I can tell, complete JavaScript, HTML and CSS. So this is one of the practical thing that I'm suggesting you to just go through this. Okay, so it will also be helpful for you when you come to the React. So let us just create one of our page, that is, I'll take one of my file called as register .html. Okay, and I'll just create the body structure. So what Nisha, what should I do if I want to change the title name?
We have to change the title name.
Okay, where does it is? Where do we get that? Huh?
It's in the header part.
Okay, so I'll just split my screen. So I'll just change over here, that is registration. Okay, so and what is the next thing that we can do? If we want CSS, we'll just include the CSS. Okay, so I'll be including the CSS. So I'll just create style.css page. So since it is already created, I'll just change it to change the name to just register.css, and if I just right click, that is control plus click, if the file is not created, it will suggest you to create. Okay, you can also create in this manner. So did you get this point, like how to create? This is a shortcut, like you can just create without going over here and selecting the file and then do. Okay, and what is the next thing that we need, if suppose we are using the external JavaScript, we need to link the JavaScript file also. Okay, so I'll just take my external JavaScript also, and what I'll be doing, what is the next thing I need to do if I want to create one of the box or one of the form? What should I do? Aman, what should I do? How to create one of the box for the registration? Aman?
Yes, sir.
What should I do? I need the faster response. I cannot waste time, okay? Okay. Anyone?
Should create a font tag.
I didn't get you.
We should use font tag, sir.
Okay.
Font tag and then.
But before that, I need to create one of the, what I can tell, I need to get one of the box, that is one of the container.
We should use div.
Okay, I'll use div, or I can use session also. So I'll just cover this inside the inside this. Okay, and I'll give some style for div, that is I'll give class name as, what is the class name I can give is form container. Okay, and I'll just remove this. I don't want this one. And I'll go to my CSS file and then dot CSS. So before this, what are the main rules that we need to follow? What is the main rule that we need to follow? Padding 0 and margin is equals to 0, and box sizing border box. Okay, these are the main 3 rules that we need to follow while creating the website. And what is the next thing? So we need to align that in center, right? So for that, what I'll be just doing, I'll just take width, and width is equals to 100%, and I'll make that what height is equals to, I'll make this as something 100 VH. Okay, and what is the next thing? I'll make background color as black. Okay, so this is done. So let us see our output. So I am getting my black colored output, right? So I'll just put this inside the div, and I'll change this color to, that is style color to white. Okay, so I need all these things to be aligned in center. So what should I do? I'll just tell display flex, justify content center, and align item center. And so this looks actually like this. It comes between like next to next. So let me show that also. That is form. I'll take this as what I can take. I can take as ID, I think so. Just a minute. Yeah, I'll just take form for now. If I want, I'll give ID. Okay, so I'll just give something width as 500 px and height also as 500 px, and background color let it be white only, and padding be 20, display flex and all. This one I'll give later. So I need to give this one, but I'll just give it later. Okay, so this one is, it's next to next. What should I do if I want to get in the column wise? What should I do? Where should I apply?
Flex direction.
Yeah, for where? Flex direction. I should give it over here. That is flex direction column, or also you can give flex flow. Okay. See, have got this. So, and what is the next thing I need to do? So I'll just go over here. I'll create some of the input tags and the label tags. See here, actually what we are doing over here is, see, I am getting some of the, what I can tell, input tags and the label tag over here, right? I am using actually a break tag to come in the next line. So what is the another thing that I can do? Anyone can just tell me what is the another easier thing that I can do? I can just cover these two things. Instead of using the break tag, what I can do is I can just cover this both in one div. Okay, so I can just cover this both the things in one div. So I'll do this one in the using the break tag only, and the another next thing which I'll do now, that one I'll be doing in the, so here ID and okay, let that be. If not required, we'll remove it. Okay, and we need email also. And password. I think so, like if I'm just taking the auto suggestion, you are able to get, or should I should I just type manually? So you are able to understand what is there in this. So see, if you don't understand, I'll also write by manually. Okay, that is label. I need some of 7 tags. So I'll take my 7 label tags. Okay, and over here I'll take input tags, one input tag, and again here also I need input and input tag, input tag, I need an input tag over here, and input tag and input tag. So let us just see our output. So it is like this. So why does it is like this means because we didn't use a break. Okay, we didn't use break tags. So I'll just apply for all those things a break tag. So how to apply? Yeah, I'll just apply break tag. So okay, so let us just give a name for all these things. So first one I'll give name, let n be capital, and this name, and what is the next thing over here, I'll give email, and I'll change this text to email, and over here this label I'll just give some space that you at that time you will come to know, and this one I'll make to password, and what is the next thing that we need? Confirm password, sorry, so here also it will be a password, and I need gender, and this will be a radio button, radio button, and actually these two things I need in the same thing, that is nothing but I'll just take in one div only I need, so I'll just remove this, I'll take one div, and inside this I'll just make one thing, that is label tag, and I'll make male and boy or okay. So for now I am just taking these much things, okay, and also last I'll be using one, what I can use, I'll be using one of my submit button, that is take one input tag and I'll make it as submit, and this one I'll make it as paired tag. Okay, okay. So see, this is how we have got for now. So what I need to do first, I need to align this thing in the center. So how to align? So for that I'll be using display flex, justify content, and align item center. So I have used this. So is it aligned in center? And I'll just give some of the height and width for my input tags. That is, all of my input tags should be in, what I can tell, width is equals to 200 px, so on I have given. So this is fine for me, and the name should be over here. So for that, what I'll do, I'll just remove all this break tags for this one. So done. See, it is like this. And what is the main changes? Let all this be. Okay, let all this be only. Like whenever what we need to do now, we need to cover this inside one of the div, and then we need to do as we have done over here. So at that time you will get the proper output. So I'll just do that at the end. Okay, so let us first complete of this one. Let me split it, and what I'll be doing. Okay, now this is good. And see, now this one is not aligned in proper way, right? This one is okay, and this thing is not aligned in proper way. So for that, what I'll do is, so I'll just go over here and I'll remove all the break tags first. That is, for first one I have removed, and for the second one also I have removed, and the third one, fourth and fifth, and for the gender also I'll remove it. And for this, that is just have a look guys, for over here that label tag is there now, of that the div is there, so div is the main thing, so I'll just give a styles for that, that is I'll just give a display flex, display flex. Okay, so you have you are getting it in the what I can tell in the same order. Before how it was, see, if I don't give display flex, that is if I just don't give this display flex, it was like this. So I'll give the display flex, it has gotten centered, and I'll give height is equals to 20, I'll make it as 50 px, and I'll make something width as width is equals to 20 px. Okay, and so it has come over there, and I'll make this to 40 px, and I will also make this justify content center and align item center, so it is in proper way. So again you can just see over here I'm able to click both these things, that is male, I can write it as male and female also, just for your understanding, like I have just given boy and girl. Okay, so I have just done this. So what if I want to click only one of these things? So at that time what you need to do, you will be having something called as name, that is name, and over here also I am taking name, and I will be making this both the things as gender. Okay, what is the error? There is some error. What is the error? Can anyone find why we are getting this one? Yeah, okay. So this is how it is looking for now, and let us just check the output, that is C. Okay, not yet. Okay, I am giving for the label, not for the what? The input tag. So we need to give this for the input tag. Okay, so now I am able to get this. Okay, then now any one of this should get selected, right? So for that we are just doing like this. Okay, so any doubts in this as till now what I have done? So this is normal HTML and CSS which I have used and I have aligned it. Any doubts on this? Guys, any doubts? Okay. So what is the next thing that we need? What is the next thing is that is required? We need to display our messages over here, right? After each and every what I can tell, after each and every input tag, if there is no if there is some error or something, right? So for that what I will be doing, I will be just taking one of my paragraph tag, and I will also give the break tag over here I don't need to give any break tag, so I'll give some of the paragraph tag over here to display the messages. So from here you guys just note down. You might get confused why I am giving this paragraph tag and so on. Okay, done. So here I am giving after the div. Okay. So any doubts why I am giving? If any doubts, you can just ask me now itself. So this one I am giving because see, whenever I click on that what I can click on submit, I need to get display the error message, right? For that I am giving. So what I'll do, I'll take this one, that is all the paragraph tags, and for all the I'll select all the paragraph tags and I'll just mention error. Okay, I'll go over here, I'll give a class name called as error. Error. Okay, and again, what is the next thing I will be doing is I will be using something called as, that is for this action is there na, inside this action I will be just giving. So what should I give over here? Any idea? I'll just give here on submit. So why I am giving this as on submit in the sense, so whenever I submit on that, it should get run. Okay, so for that I am giving here, sorry, I am just calling here this one as action and on submit, and I'll just write the function. So this one will be over here, and on submit is the main thing that we are just clicking. Okay, so whenever we click on this, this function should run. Okay, so for that I have taken one of the event, that is nothing but on submit over here in the inside the form. So we need to run this total form. Okay, not only one thing, we need to run this total form, so I am giving inside the form. So as you know, what is the difference between form tag and the div tag? What is the difference between form tag and the div tag? Guys, what is the difference between form tag and the div tag? Anyone? Nisha?
So div tag acts as a container, whereas form also acts as a container, but it takes the input and stores it into a database.
Okay, so okay, that's correct. Okay, so now what we need to do is, its HTML CSS part is totally done. Okay, so if there is any till now if there is any confusion, you can just ask me. Any confusions? Any confusions, guys? Okay, I'll just start now. That is what? JavaScript. Okay, so I'll just write this inside the HTML tag only. So for now I'll just I'll just comment this one. So you guys try it in the external way. Okay, so this will be your task. So what I'll be doing is, first I'll be taking one of my function, that is I'll be taking it as value, and or I can just give it as on submit. I'll take it as submit. Okay, and what is the thing, first I'll be doing is I'll be taking one of my variable, and I'll just use, that is, uh, so what is the variable name I'll be giving is mm, 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 mm. I'll take something as user ID, that will be nothing but so you might find this one as new. Okay, so you might find this as new, so I'll just tell you what it is. Get element by, what is the thing that we need to take to access the input tag, guys? hmm? What is the thing that we need to take for accessing the input tag? We'll be taking document dot get element by id, or the tag name. Anyone?
Tag names.
By tag name, right? By tag name, and I need to write over here, that is input. So let us just check console dot log. Sorry, I'll just put it outside and I'll just check whether we are getting it. So are we getting all the input tags? Are we getting? Okay, so we have generated totally how many input tags, that we have generated nearly 8 input tags. Actually we have generated 9 input tags. Okay, so I'll just show you. This is the first one, second one, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth and seventh, and the eighth one. Okay, eighth one is nothing but the submit. So we are getting it similarly over here. So similarly you need to know what all the things that you can just access over there. So what all the things that the input tags is having, right? So you can just go through over here. So these are some of the things that all the input tags you can, what all the things that you can access over there. So usually what we will be accessing is, we will be taking something called as value and so on. Okay, so we will be accessing the value of that. So I'll just close this for now, and I'll just give something called as, that is, and for accessing all the errors also I need to have some of the errors. So what I'll just do, again similar at the same type only. So this line is working, I'll just take and I'll put it over here. For now I'll comment this, and for accessing the errors I have already given the error message for all the paragraph tags, and I will just make this as error, ERROR. And what should I do this one as? By class name, right? By class name. So let us just see whether even this line is working. Why I am checking outside the function? Because whenever we call the function only, this will work, right? So for that I am using outside the function. Okay, so I will just change this to error. And I'll just write over here console.log and error I'll take. Let us just check. So am I able to access the 6? Am I able to? So I am able to access, right? So this code is correct, and again I will just replace this over here. So done. So I have taken the two things, and you might ask, sir, what does this is? So you have something, right? That is, so what is this? You have the question in your mind, I think so. So why we are using this, and what is that, right? So instead of making this as, instead of making this as user ID, I'll make this as name. So we are not using the user ID, right? So what I can just do, I'll be okay, or else just let us also create one of the user ID. Where I'll go? So how to create the user ID? Just I'll come here. I'll just copy the same thing. And I'll make this as user ID. That is nothing but number and the error. So is it correct now? Let us just go and check. Yeah, okay. So and what is the condition we have given in the sense? So it should have minimum of 5 to what? So this is nothing but this code actually we tell it for like what we can tell. This is nothing but a code for writing the conditions. Similarly, instead of using if else condition, you will be writing the condition over here, and then you will be accessing this condition inside the if else. Okay, so let me just try for only one thing, and then I'll just show you how this is working. Okay, and I'll just take one of my if else, and I'll write one of my condition over here, that is user id dot test and input of 0 dot value and error. Okay, so this is how it is. So did anyone understand like what is going on over here? Any confusion in this code which I have written, or I'll explain. See here what I'm just doing is I'm just taking one of my function that is called as, I'll just take this as validation only, validation. So this is the function which I have taken, that is validation I have taken, and this function I am passing it inside the what? Inside this submit. Okay, so I will be passing this function inside this what? In the form tag. So why am I passing this inside the form tag? Anyone have any idea? Any one of you?
Because we are whatever input that we are given, it is inside the form.
Okay. Any better answer? So I'm returning it and I'm just okay. So this one is done. So let us just check only if this one is working or not. So first I'll just give only submit. See, is it working? Actually it is working, but what I can tell, so whenever you click on this, that the message is there now, it is coming and again it is getting refreshed fast. You are able to get that message. See, you are able to get the message, but this is not standing constant. So what should we do? Any idea? What should we do?
Set time. We should set the timeout for the messages.
Time for the message. All you can also do that, but instead of that, what you can do is I'll just add the color also over here. That is why does this is not getting accessed? error of 0 only. mm, Color is equals to red, let me check. Yeah, it is working. And so I need to return that statement completely. At that time I will be getting, you can also set the time, but I need that to be constant. Okay, if I need that to be in constant manner, I need to return that statement. Okay, so I need to return that statement if I want that in constant. If I just mention this in the time, right, I'll not be able to get it in constant as you as like your requirement. So let us just check this one. Like, what if suppose if I write 5 of my character and then if I do, so I'm not getting any error. See, am I getting error? No, na. Suppose if I just give submit, I'll be getting error. And what if I just write more than that? Also, I'll be getting error. It should be between this, okay? Between 5 to 12. So similarly, can you make this? I'll just tell this logic, okay? So how this one is going on? So can you please go through all these things? How does this is working? And can you? I'll just tell for what the name, and also I'll be telling for the email. You guys just do for the password and the gender, okay? So gender is almost done actually. So can you do? You will be doing that, right? So now first I will be writing for the username. Okay. So for the username, that is, I need to access, that is. So they have given some of the things. See, the next thing which I told is you can also write the logic like this in the same line. Okay, that is nothing but the user dot input of value that should be larger than 3, that should be lesser than 3, and the input of that should be more than 20. You can also write the logic like this. Also you can also write the logic in the way which have given. So what do you tell about this logic is, where I'll take the username, where name is equals to, I'll write the logic inside the double quotes, and I'll take this and I'll just write my numbers should be from what. So what are the things that usually I'll be using, from A to Z, A to Z, and that is, where is my Z, and capital A to small z. And what is the next thing I'll be doing is, that should be from 15 to I'll tell 20, or 5 to 20 I'll take. Minimum of 5 to 12 characters, or I can also make that's the logic over here. The same logic only I'll apply over here. So at that time you will come to know 15 to 20. So the minimum, what is the minimum that I need to do is, that one I'll be writing, and the closing thing I'll be closing using the dollar symbol. So at that time how we will be writing this one, so I'll just change this logic over here. So I'll just erase this. I'll access name. If the name is equals to what I can tell, name dot test. So test is one of the method, okay. Test is and again guys, like when you are just writing the whatever the thing that you are just checking na, you need to also verify this one. You cannot you like what in the sense you need to know in the which index the value that you are getting that same value. So for that only I use this console.log, okay, console.log of input. So you need to know in which of the whenever you submit, no, in which of the thing which value will come. So since the input tag is in the input of name is in the second thing, so I'll be using it as 1, not as 2, okay. So I'll be using over here that is input value of 1 of value. So I'll be accessing the input dot value. So I'll just write this inside the console.log and I'll show you whether I'll be able to access the value or not. Console.log and I'll just access the value and I'll show you. So where is my this line I need if I want to show you. See, whenever I write something over here and if I submit, okay, since this one is done, okay, there is some error given, but I need to access this value. So it is accessing the value and it is showing, okay. So dot value. This telling undefined. Okay, let me show this after all the example goes on. So I'll comment this. So this is how you write the code. So what is this is nothing but you will be writing both the things in the double quotes and then you will be for the starting point you will be just giving in the form of in the upper arrow. That upper arrow is nothing but you will just write in the array format. You guys just try in this format, or else if you guys have any confusion you can write it using the if else statements only. So this is, I think you might get a bit complicated like when you are writing like this. So you can just try if else. So in whichever the format that you are comfortable you can try in that format itself. Not an issue. Okay. So you can just try in this format only. Not an issue. So I'll just write in the same format how it is. So these two things have written. So just anyone can let me know how to write for the email. Hmm? Anyone? Any one of you? Nisha?
So it should contain letters or numbers with the ampersand sign.
With the special characters?
Followed by
Okay.
website, I mean, email.
Correct. So I think so you will try that. I'll only let you know. That is for email, and I'll just, so this condition is main, that's all. There is nothing more than that. So it should contain the same from A to Z, or both the things it can contain, and it can also contain for an email. What is that? What is the next thing? And this one should be minimum of 3 comma 5, or else I can just write minimum, and then I'll tell it should contain ampersand, that is one of my ampersand, only one should be, that is minimum one should be. And what is the next thing is, it should contain again A to Z. Also I need to contain the numbers. Okay, so I'll write it over here only, 0 to 9, that should contain. And what is the next thing is, I also need that A to Z and so if you need any special characters also, you can just write it. Okay, that is any one of this, what I can tell is dot, or you can also mention if you want any of the special characters also. It is based on your requirement. Okay, you can also mention this also. So since I don't want any special characters over here, I will not be mentioning. If you want to have any one of the special character in your password, you can just mention, that is dot or comma, like anything. So if you want to make that, what I can tell, if you want to make your password as more complicated, you can just do that also, and more securable I can tell. So if you want to make your password as more securable, you can just do that one also. So I'll just remove this, I'll not be giving, and I'll just given, I'll close this. Okay, so these are the minimum things that I need to contain. What is the thing is that minimum of 3 alphabets, and one of my ampersand, and what is that, 2, minimum of 2 letters, and also again I need for .com is there na, that is I'll make this as A to Z comma and A to Z minimum of 2. So let us just check. There is one if condition, and so this one is done. Okay, so the same thing only I have written. So what does this condition means in the sense? So I am writing this both the things in the double quotes, and I'm just starting the first thing, that is it should start with the alphabets, and one of my what I can tell, one of my at the rate should be there. So this is mandatory, and this one is also mandatory, that is for .com is there na, at Gmail is also mandatory, and the .com is also mandatory. For that I am using these things. So let me check that. I'll be writing some 5 and I'll write the names over here. I'll write neat, and I'll also write some thing over here, and I'll write the email. I'll just write Puneet. So I have not given the at the rate. See, it will show you the error. Okay, okay, wait just a minute. It is not showing you the error. Why? Why it is not showing? Is it in the 3 0? Okay, this is 1 and another one is 2 and the 3. Okay, test dot email dot value, so on, and this one is, there is some error and there is red color, and I'm returning also. At the rate, okay, at the rate was also there. Actually this is not the message that it should show. Okay, so if I just make it turn it as text, no, at that time this will be showing. So suppose what if I just write at the rate gmail dot com. Yeah. So whenever this message, actually if I just turn this one to text and if I show, okay, okay, I have missed the bracket, so it was showing that 3 4 5 and Puneet S, and I'll write Puneet S at the rate gmail.com. I'll remove all these things. Okay, should be between 3 to 20. Why am I getting this error over here? I have already written actually. Why am I getting that error? Okay, see the condition, this condition this condition should be in the else statement, and here it should be only this much. So I'll just remove this one. This one is not needed. Yeah, I am getting some error. So why am I getting this error? So only 3 of this should be, and okay, why am I getting this error in the sense, there is some mistake that we have done. Mm-mm. What is the logic mistake that we have done? At the rate so on. Mm-mm. Okay, we need to give a dot over here. Now we'll not get any error. See, now I'm not getting any error, and I'm getting error because I have not used at the rate. And here that is, I need to use 5 characters, and this one again I'm getting an error 5. So minimum 1 dot should be there. Okay, let me check my output now. I think so it should be correct. 3 4 5, and I'll just give Sunit S and invalid minimum. So why am I getting, okay, this condition I'll just check and I'll let you know. So what is this condition, like why am I getting an error? I'll also try it again once. Yeah, now I'm not getting any error. See, I'm not getting any error, it is just getting submitted. Okay, so it is just getting submitted, and then also I can just take the value. See, since I have given a single space also, it was showing an error. Okay, I have given the space between these things, so for that it was showing an error. So this one also you can just try this. Okay, this is a different type of method that we will usually use. Also you can just try using the if else statements only. So using if else statements you can just write or, and then you can just type. So for this one, how to use if else statement and then write, you need to use that, what I can tell, you can just use in the form of, I can just type if I can type that is input, I'll copy the same line only. So you can just mention over here input dot value dot value dot length should be minimum of what I can tell, minimum of 20 or minimum of 10 I'll take, should be greater than, that is lesser than 20 or greater than 20 I can take, and this greater than I don't need, so I'll just make this as 3 and this one also as 3, and I need dot value should contain, that should be equals to all these things. Nah, so at that time, see, you will not be able to write this. This will be get complicated to write all those conditions. So at that time, you will be able to use these things. So here means you will be able to write the condition, the only the length. Okay, you will not be able to write what all the things that should contain. Suppose what if I make this as numbers also. Suppose if I want the numbers also inside my name, so at that time I'll be using the numbers also, that is 0 to 9 I can write. Nah, so for that we will be using this kind of thing. Okay, so any doubts like how to write and how to validate? This is only the validation part. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Did you guys understood really? Hmm? That is my doubt.